Okay, we're back, and this is a few days later. The rain has stopped for the most part, and this is how it still looks. Some larger rocks you see off in the distance are a result of that's where I lifted it up, and I haven't taken the large rocks to throw them off yet. You can see this main wet spot that's still coming through, and this is where we were getting the mud that was sticking on the power grader. You can also see my boys have already gone and made their little water canal, and there's still water there. But the rest of it looks very good. I'm still very pleased with it. Haven't had too many cars come and go yet, so it's still kind of regular gravel look. And right up here is where we ended last time, and I'm going to go ahead and start right in here, which is where we ended. So again, we drop down the actuator all the way down and commence the graveling. Okay, so it looks like because of the crown, it's a little uneven this first time around. This is an area I've done a few times before, not with this, but with my tractor. Should be easy to come up. Here's the first pothole. And it looks like now we're getting into some stuff that's a lot drier. This ought to work a lot better. One last reminder, this is an area that we have quite a few potholes. I'm going to go ahead and switch it off now because it's kind of tough to do this and keep the camera going on at the same time. But we'll go over this again as soon as it's done, a time or two, and see how it looks. Okay, I've taken 5 or 6 passes, and I just want to show you with that up, just take a trip down here. You can see here, any rocks you have that are not gravel are going to come to the surface, and I've got a lot more than I expected. Through here was especially bad, and I've thrown a number of them out, the bigger ones. The smaller ones, they're certainly there, and they seem to come off the machine in clumps, probably just tend to get stuck. Up here you can see quite a few. Here's one. It was a real decent pothole, and because I don't have any proper drainage here, it's still obviously muddy. It's a lot better than it was. This second wet spot was a pretty good sized pothole. It's covered right now. It could use some more, but like I say, I'm not done yet. Around here you're going to continue to see some larger rocks. And we'll keep going to the top. The top, I am definitely not done with yet, but it's worth seeing in its current form. Everything is graded out as good or better than I could hope. Definitely the first few times you do something like this, you're going to need to go over it quite a few times. This area right there, boy, those rocks are going to pop out at you. I had a couple shoot over my head. Here you can see a drop off of bigger rocks. Here you can see another drop off of bigger rocks. But we get up to the big trouble spot and you'll see that I'm not done. But so far they're starting to get filled in. Over there you see quite a few big rocks that I haven't thrown out yet. Here there were two really good sized potholes, and one is filled in all the way, one is getting there. You can see I didn't get the middle of this yet, so as I say, I haven't done too many runs. But looking down this way now, you can see so far I'm real pleased. The entire thing looks nicely manicured, and I'm going to go back at it for a while. Talk to you later. Okay, I'm just about done here up at the top where we had the big potholes. I wanted to show you, you can see all the small rocks that this thing has picked up that is not gravel. It's bigger than gravel. I really got to caution you. You're not going to do this with a lawnmower, lawn tractor type deal. You're going to need a four-wheeler, a tractor, a UTV or something like that. A couple of the rocks, and these are not huge rocks by any means, but the teeth grab them, and you end up with, you'll see up here what I would call hiccup marks, where it bounces and easy enough to smooth over again. Just takes time, but you know, if you end up, you're going to find a lot more rocks than you ever thought were in your driveway. Anyway, we'll go up and look at it here. You know, you might be able to use a lawn tractor with the teeth just barely down. I sure wouldn't advise it. Okay, you can see here a good landing of them, and that is a hiccup bump. That is one. Just places where I pulled and knocked out a rock, and it kind of made the unit jump up. Aside from the wetness up here, you can now see the potholes are pretty well filled in. Not perfectly, there's some mud to it and whatnot, but I'm really pleased with that. This is all but gone. You can see those couple of potholes still, just mainly you see the water that's still retained in there. But they feel fairly smooth to drive over. And there, if the sun isn't too bright, you can see some of those hiccup bumps and plenty of the big rocks. And I think that's about all I'm going to do for tonight. And I may go ahead and post this now without doing the lake for now, just to get this up and everyone can see exactly what it's doing. For the most part, I got to say it lives up to its billing. Anything that I thought it wasn't going to do became obvious it'll do. It just takes more and more passes. You know, the bigger the problem. The harder your ground is, you're going to take more passes even then. But for a driveway, as long as we have here, this thing has sure held up and done everything I've asked it to do. Not necessarily as fast as I'd want. Where the instructions say 5 miles per hour maximum, boy, that's the truth. You know, if I'd get up to 6 or 7 even, I could start to have those rocks start bouncing the machine. And so you really want to keep it at 5, at least until you got what you know is just plain gravel quite a ways through and you're just doing some real light grooming or something. There you go. Last thing to mention, just before I forget, that entire project with me doing what I did, which got rid of most of the potholes, a couple of things I need to do. Mainly I need to get the big rock out of the driveway before I go any further. Took right at an hour. I can't even imagine how long that would have taken with my tractor, and would have ended up with worse results as a result. So in terms of what this does for the amount of time it takes, unbelievable. If you think of it like mowing your lawn, and I'm a guy that just absolutely loves to mow his lawn, this is absolutely a great investment.